The Tangent Egg podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Tangent Egg Podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me are Swoosh and John Doe.
Hi.
Hello.
And I'm immediately going to go off topics, because there's something I need to bitch about.
Cool.
Oddly enough, I'm going to bitch about the Australian health system. And it's going to be the most first world bitch you've ever heard. Because, so I've been in and out of the doctor a couple times recently. In fact, I will apologize right now that this month's Might Play hasn't gone live, because I've been in and out of hospital and doctors the past couple of weekends. And I've still got to try and hold down my 9 to 5. But I will endeavour to get it up this weekend. I'm very sorry for the lateness. But, so, I've been seeing a bunch of doctors lately. And one thing I've found that really irks me is going into a doctor, and even if they were 100% right, and they have been, the ones I've been seeing, walking in, having them look at you and immediately go, this is the problem, and kick you out.
Yeah.
Because I had that, and then I went for a follow-up, and I saw another doctor, and all they did was put some gloves on, check the stuff, and make sure that I was okay. It didn't take them more than an extra minute, but I suddenly felt so much less like I'd just been booted from the doctor, and I'd actually got what I paid for.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
A little bit of, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like medical theater? Same sort of thing, like
bedside
security
manner,
theater?
mostly.
Yeah.
But it's the same as if you're, like, I'm a bigger bloke. The minute I walk into a doctor, like, I'm coughing up gunk, whatever. So, have you tried losing weight? It's like...
Yeah, no, every time.
I'm not here for that. I'm here because I got a fucking sinus infection. Look down my throat, fucking licking, like, take the temp. Do fucking something.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that. Jesus. I know I could lose some weight, god fucking damn, but...
I mean, I'm a big guy too. Same issue.
Yeah.
But that's why I was really prefacing this one with, like, the person was correct. That I walked in, they immediately knew what was wrong with me and just booted me. But, like, taking the 2 seconds to put a couple of gloves on and just have a look and really make it seem like you didn't just be like, oh yes, I know what you are, get out, peasant.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh yes, let me have a look. Yes, I definitely think it's this. Makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, it makes you feel at least cared for in a way. Like,
and if I'm paying $75 for that fucking consult because it comes with a really fucking bulk bill, give me something for me money, Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I said, just the 2 seconds. He didn't do anything different. And even, I was going in for just a follow-up, so he even knew what the problem was. But the 2 seconds made me feel so much better.
Yeah. No, I get that.
And I feel like more doctors need to understand that. And I understand that, like, they probably saw me and went, oh, it's this, get him out of here, because that could get me back. Like, I understand, not every patient is easy. Some of them take longer and less time. So having someone you can quickly turn around and try and get yourself back on schedule, or maybe you can make that extra phone call to help out another patient. I absolutely get it. Why a doctor might be like, I know what's wrong with you, get the fuck out of my office. But something, man, just the half a minute of time makes me feel like it was worth it.
No, that's fair. I understand.
Right. Eternal Seth bitch rants over. Let's get on to our topics for the week. So, we're seeing a resurgence of what happened back around when Baldur's Gate 3 came out with Claire Obscura. A tiny team that was born out of a bunch of people who were bored working for, I think it was Ubisoft? Yeah, Ubisoft. And cobbled together a group of people from their Reddit and SoundCloud who have made one of the most banging games. And it only took 30 people, well, to hear them say it, 30 people and a dog.
Yeah.
3 years to knock out this absolutely banger of a game.
Yeah.
And it's very much they liked the feature of another game, Final Fantasy X, said, oh, fuck it, I think we can make a game using a feature similar to that and do our own thing on it. And they did fucking amazing.
Yeah, Claire Obscura is a fantastic game. There's a reason it's been blowing up so hard. But of course, the AAA industry's been going, hey, pump your brakes. Don't expect this. This isn't a standard. This is There's a random outlier. It's not how the game industries work.
So, which point it's like we keep getting outliers that you keep talking about. That there's more of those than good games currently.
But Ubisoft has learned some lesson at least. Like they've realized don't release some broken games. Jesus.
Fucking, they took them how long? God
another point we're going to talk about is Ubisoft is pushing a bunch of its big projects into 2026 and 2027. Specifically because the delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows worked out really well in their favor. Who'd have fucking thought? Like, put out a good game, get good reviews, get player engagement.
Exactly. Like, that's how you make this kind of game the fucking standard. By releasing good fucking games. And then games like this don't stand out as hard against your fucking trash.
I'm also surprised that they haven't realized that smaller, more dedicated teams equal a greater yield, like, funding-wise. Because if you're paying so many people, that's a huge budget to sink, and they have to sell more copies to cover that.
The thing is, you have to make something... I've said this before. You have to make something proportional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a huge team, then the game you make has to... You want to be bug-free. It has to be really big and expansive, really detailed. That's what people expect.
Yeah.
Like, we've talked about it, I think we talked about it last week when we were talking about the delay for GTA 6.
Yeah.
The team working on that is massive. But I also expect Rockstar to deliver.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They will put out a massive, expansive game that is incredibly groundbreaking and will be huge and totally worth the dev team they put on it. What we don't want is a dev team that big croaking out slop.
Absolutely.
Where you can take, as we said, a small 30-man team. Like, Clear Obscure works so well because it has such a tight focus.
It's also a labor of love for those guys.
Oh,
they
absolutely.
really liked what they were doing.
Everyone in it was... I mean, everyone got paid, but everyone was also sort of in it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
They liked what they were working on. They were bored doing what they were doing, and they were like, all right, I'm going to go do this. This looks like it's actually going to be good.
I'm going to go hang out with these guys in the corner.
Instead of eating paste with the big kids.
That's the way... AAA gaming, I swear to God, is so close to floundering. Because no one really trusts it anymore.
No.
Like, the indie scene and the AA scene are the best quality and bang for your buck at the moment.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh, games are costing this much. Like, that's if you're going from AAAs. Like, just go down a peg and you'll find so many more fun things.
Yeah. You're bitching about games costing you $100, dude. There's so many $50 games that are absolute killer.
Yeah. Definitely.
Hell, our obligatory shill for Game Pass.
Look, I'm about to play Doom. I'm pretty sure that alone has paid for 3 more months of this thing.
Look, great example. Me and Swoosh have been playing it a bit lately. Revenge of the Savage Planet. Excellent game.
Yeah.
$59.
Great game. I did complete it in like 20 hours, but I also want to go back and play more of it with people.
Yeah, because you got 20 hours out of it.
Yeah. Like,
that's
it was a solid
good.
20 hours, too. Like, I spent every moment of that having fun.
Yeah.
Like, even when I got stuck on one of the later missions where you're trying to kill a bunch of, like, statue kind of things around the place, and I couldn't find the remaining ones, I'm like, I'm still enjoying this, because I'm just running around killing little furball things.
I think I'm only about 9 hours in, but I'm having a blast with it, and I'm definitely going to take it at least through to credits. I don't know if I'll 100% it, but definitely through to credits.
Yeah. I didn't 100% this one. I just went through the credits, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. But I mean, at $60, it's great. It's even got co-op.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great game at a good price that, as far as I'm concerned, is dunking on a lot of other games that are out at the same time as it.
Not just co-op, but just split-screen co-op. So you can just play it with someone there. Like, it's amazing. We haven't had that in how long for, like, these kinds of games?
Yeah, couch co-op's kind of dead.
Yeah.
And I sort of get that with the rise of stable internet that everyone has. It kind of makes sense. But
I miss LAN parties.
I think, like, to me, the lack of split screen, and I know it's been coming back in a big way lately, mostly thanks to that studio who did Split Fiction.
Yeah, I think that is it. Yeah.
Now that it's turned itself into its own genre of game,
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the big thing that I think is lost, particularly for male gamers, is want to include your partner.
Yeah.
You either need a whole other computer, which is an expensive option, or you need games that you can play together split screen.
Yeah.
definitely.
Though I've found recently, like, I play a lot of my Game Pass games through an old Xbox because I can stream newer games through that. So I've got an old Xbox hooked up to one TV. I've got an Amazon Fire Stick hooked up in another TV, so I can stream the same Game Pass game on both screens. So we can actually play, like...
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty
We
cool.
can actually play those split games on two separate screens next to each other because we've got two TVs set up in the lounge room.
Oh, hell yeah.
Me to play
Living the
games
dream.
and the missus to watch movies or TV. So that has worked really well. Having on one screen, I don't know if I like to have the room on the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has been really fucking cool being able to do that online. But
That's fair.
if you
That
only
is
had one
cool. I
screen,
never-
split screen is fucking needs to be there.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's diving into the AA scene.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You don't have to buy the newest Call of Duty and hawk out $150. You just buy other stuff. There's plenty of other amazing experiences. I understand why a lot of people do, because buying the new Call of Duty might be the one game they buy.
Yeah.
They may just buy all the map packs for Call of Duty and they play a couple of rounds in the evening after their job is done, and that's what they do. That's how they have their fun.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's bad. If that's you, fucking power to you, man. I do think you probably could do better with some other titles, but
Well, instead of buying
if
one
that's your
AAA
thing, that's
game
your
for
thing.
$120, you can buy two AA games for $50 each.
I feel like there's enough other shooters that you could break away from
Fucking
Call of
Earth,
Duty and still be served.
I think like Call of Duty, COD, and all the ones that were just adding an extra number onto things and then passing it forward. I think they're half the reason the AAA scene is kind of crashing. Because everyone's like, oh, cool, you slapped another number on it. Did you add a new color other than gray? Like, no.
The horse corpse still has chips of copper coming out of it. Kick it again.
Keep going. If we pulverize its bones, we can make glue.
Then we can eat the glue.
Then we can glue another horse together.
And then the process restarts.
Meanwhile,
I mean,
the
like-
ranchers on the AA games are just getting new horses. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, most of the games I've played that I've really, really stuck with lately have been smaller AA stuff.
Yeah.
The AAAs just don't hold. Like, I mean, the one that's probably going to hold my attention that's a AAA right now is Doom Dark Age. It just came out today as of recording.
Yeah.
And I will be playing it after this podcast. I purposefully didn't start playing it when I got home from work because I knew I would record this podcast.
Yeah.
But most stuff that I've been playing has been firmly in the AA space. I mean, like, how quickly did Oblivion fall off?
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
Everyone was talking about that for like a week, and then it's like, meh.
I think the exact reason being is it's Oblivion. I've played Oblivion.
Yeah.
To death.
I played
Now it's
Oblivion
just pretty.
almost 20 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, I love it. It's a big part of like my core memory for gaming, but yeah. Like one of my favorite games at the moment is a small indie studio, which is Eternal Strands, and it's just running around killing stuff, getting more like stuff to make loot, and it's just a turn brain off and have fun game.
I mean, Helldivers is looking in a good place right now. They just did another big update. That's another AA studio. I've been playing the shit out of Skin Deep. That's been hella fun. Another AA game. Yeah, AA is where it's at. AA is like the new AAA.
I've been feeling the call of the Power Wash Simulator and tempting to go back to that.
Wait for Power Wash Simulator 2. It's coming.
It's coming. We'll get there.
Although, I wasn't expecting this, like, light power wash mechanics in Revenge.
Yeah.
Planet. But it's like, clean off this radar dish. I'm like, I've done this before.
Yeah. Good fun.
So, shall we talk about something that's, I think people are getting unnecessarily butthurt about, but I also don't like?
Yeah.
So, Nintendo has updated its EULA to basically say, if you do anything we don't like with our console, we can brick it. Which is basically referring to dismantling, reverse engineering, removing software, or modding.
Yeah.
Which there was a chance of that happening anyway.
On every console.
I've never owned a console where the idea of modding it until softmod comes out, that wasn't within the risk of your machine might break.
Yeah.
That's always been a risk of modding. And the reason I don't like it being in there at all is we're also got to have to trust Nintendo. But if you're not doing those things, you've really got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't intend to be pirating with a Switch 2. Like, and I can't blame Nintendo for shoring up the ranks after the first Switch was so easily modded. Like, it was ridiculous how easy it could be.
You needed one jumper applied and a basic dump of the NAND, and you were done.
Yeah.
It was like you had it done in about 15 minutes. It was not hard.
It almost felt deliberate, to be honest, because it's like when you cracked open the old Xboxes. There's basically a little button, like little thing saying "Insert mod chip here."
Oh yeah. It had a spot on the PCB that actually said mod.
Yeah,
and if you put the chip there, was how you modded the console.
It became a thing where it's like, does Nintendo want us to do this? Like, no, they don't. They really hate that you're doing it.
Yeah,
and they're clamping down on it now.
Yeah, it seems more like a formalization of what they were already not okay with. And I get that. And like I said, my big issue is simply that we have to now trust Nintendo to play nice.
Yeah.
And I don't trust Big Corps.
No, I'm waiting for someone to buy a licensed game, and for if it has to connect to their fucking online store, for something to read incorrect and brick the console. For having purchased an item and still have it bricked. Because it'll happen.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. No system.
And hopefully,
if it's an automated service.
Hopefully there's a more mediated system for sorting that sort of thing out, or the whatnot. Again, we don't know. And I completely understand people being annoyed for the ifs that could happen. That's absolutely fair. But it seems just so many people are like, I'm buying a hardware and I should be able to do anything I want with it. Look, man, that's fair. And guess what? No one's stopping you doing whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
You just have to accept the risk involved.
Yeah.
It's a remote, bricking. Just don't let it connect to your internet. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why everyone's getting so angry, but I think it has to do with people just wanting to be angry at Nintendo because game prices are going up, and they want to blame someone for it.
And the big bad right now is Nintendo.
Yeah, they were the most recent ones to do it. Well, not the most recent, but the biggest ones to do it before the others started jumping ship. But guaranteed, everyone else was already looking to do that.
I mean, again, we've talked about it back when we did the episode when Nintendo started doing the pricing. We talked about how the fact that games here in Australia have been 120 at release on PlayStation since the PlayStation 5 came out.
Yeah.
It's not weird. It's completely within brand at this point. It's just in the United States it's happening now, and now everyone's like, oh, wait, hang on. That's not okay.
Yeah, it's just because they're finally affected.
Or at least that's the way the optics look for me, anyway.
Yeah,
it's how it looks pretty much everywhere. It's finally affecting them, and now they're cracking the shits. They never gave a fuck otherwise. Unless they had oil buried underneath it, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I just find it funny that they're cracking the shits. It's like, but they all still pre-ordered the Switch 2.
If they can.
Well, that depends. It depends whether the people who are making bitchy sketches on fucking TikTok and YouTube, whether they actually care or they just wanted to make something funny because it's easy clicks right now.
Yeah.
Or because I doubt the people who legitimately wanted and bought a Switch 2 are making videos being like, wah!
Yeah. Or if they are, they would be doing it for clicks.
Well, there's one guy I know who did it for clicks. I don't know if he's doing it for clicks. He's bitching about it but has admitted he's bought a Switch 2 because he wants to be able to report on games, which means he needs the console. But he's bitching endlessly about it, which feels not quite hypocritical, but like, I don't know, like the next step over from that.
It gives the impression of entitled child. It's like, father got me the pink iPhone and not the black one.
Yeah. And again, I don't want to say that the guy doesn't make good sketches or that he's not a good dude. It's just kind of weird.
It is, yeah.
So it's not like hypocritical, but it's like it feels somewhere in that ballpark, like your neighbor's to hypocrite, but you're not one.
Yeah. But then again, I will support anyone's urge to bitch, because I bitch endlessly about everything. It's half.
We do a weekly podcast where we spend an hour bitching.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really curious to see what happens like when the console comes out and the massive drop in capability when it's off the dock. Like,
yeah, I want to see how that goes.
It has to have that. They've already released some of the specs saying that it is a massive drop in quality of gameplay as soon as you take it off the dock.
You only get 60 and 1080 if it's on the dock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, currently there's a lot of flack about the price. Games are already being held up from the Xbox Series S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Switch 2 is going to have the same capability as that. I'm not
pre-ordering this one, but I'll probably grab it once it's cleared and gotten an update.
I'll really admit I pre-ordered it.
Fair.
I decided it was something I wanted, and I was going to use my money to buy it.
That's fair enough. To each their own.
Oddly enough, after that dinosaur video I tagged in the show notes like a couple of weeks back, it was like, you know what, damn right, fuck you everybody. I'm not going to let you make me feel bad.
Yeah.
Because I want to play the new Donkey Kong. The new Donkey Kong looks really fun.
It looks sick as hell. I'm just going to wait slightly longer to get it.
Yeah, and that's fair. I ever since the 360's Red Ring of Death, I don't blame anyone who's like, I'm buying the second gen.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a wound on our generation, I think. Like, everyone had someone affected by that horrible plague.
Yeah. And then all the bootleg ways to fix it, like wrapping it in towels and shit.
Oh, God. Then again, remember the days of the Sega where you'd plug the fucker in and then push the button or click the thing and hope to God. You'd sit there and pray. It was like religion for children.
I just love the fact that the way every single person knew how to fix that actually made it worse.
Oh, yeah. Made it so much worse. But it made us feel better.
I know. But it was the fact that every single person knew it.
Yeah.
I don't know how that got disseminated. Oh, hey, man, it's dust in the cartridge. Just blowing it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool, because the slight bit of moisture helps bridge the connector pin that's loose, and thusly it starts, but the acid in your saliva eats away at the connector pin and makes the whole problem more likely.
It is the epitome of instant solutions but bad long-term gain.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to get the result I want now. No.
Oh, fuck. Man, old consoles. Oh.
Which kind of makes it funny, considering there are console collectors who will collect the games and everything. But depending on how corroded it is if it's worth more or less.
Oh, yeah.
Which means a virgin cartridge is worth a lot more. One that's never been blown.
So, the VPN company VPN Secure decided to buy one of its rivals. And then started canceling people's lifetime subscriptions.
Dick move. But unless it's in the contract they signed with the guys, I guess it's within their rights. But
it's the client has signed a contract saying they own that for life.
That is true.
But I'm guessing the thing there is that they have a lifetime contract with a company that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, the company does still exist. The company was just bought out. That company does still exist. Or who they made that deal with. Because otherwise, I could sign a phone contract with one mob, and if Telstra bought them out, suddenly, my contract means fucking nothing. I still have a contract.
Pretty much. But basically, they're shifting them one to another. Because it happened with, when I was with Optus at one point. Like, we're discontinuing this service you're on. We're moving you to this one. So I think it's basically what they've done there.
They are moving people, but they're moving people off of a we've already paid forever
Yeah.
to you have to go back to paying month to month.
Yeah.
Still a dick move.
Yeah. All because apparently they didn't know that their rival did this.
So they didn't do their due diligence when purchasing the company.
Apparently.
That's not an issue for the people. That's an issue for the people who'd made the deal.
And as far as they're concerned, well, from the articles I've read, I haven't seen anything about like follow-up litigation on it yet. But yeah, as far as they're concerned, we're not offering a lifetime subscription. The company you have a lifetime subscription with, we've eaten them. They're not a thing anymore. You're dealing with us, and we're not doing that.
I kind of hope there's follow-up, because this would be a really fun way of stopping megacorps from existing. If they are now liable for the things that the place that they're absolving, did.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah. Unlikely. But we can dream. I will always try and avoid the megacorp dystopia.
We're already in it, man.
We are.
We've got all the dystopia without any of the cool cyber arms.
We're getting some cyber arms. There's a few people who have made some really good advances in mechanics for it.
Although, if we want to talk just randomly cool science shit.
Love science shit.
Scientists use the CRISPR thing that's been around for ages for genetic modification to turn the colors of spider silk different colors.
I love that CRISPR just became a game for nerds, and it's been benefiting science to no end. So that they can now alter the color of the silk in the spider, the one it produces. Well, I love that, but also I'm terrified. One day having a neon green spider web in the corner.
It's really cool in the fact that it's further understanding how spiders produce their silk.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, the whole carbon nanotube thing grew out of trying to replicate spider silk.
Yeah.
Because you walk into it and freak out and you rip a spider web to pieces, but that's because your force multiplier against it is insane.
Yeah.
But if you have a comparable strength of material, spider silk is like one of the strongest materials in the animal kingdom.
Oh, hells yes. If we can get it working, we could have actually ballistic clothing.
It would be a complete game changer
if
we could get it all sorted out. So the idea that they've been able to modify the color, that's not a whole lot of anything useful to us, but it's a furthering of our understanding of how spider silk functions as made and all that kind of stuff, which potentially could follow up into greater scientific discoveries.
It's also a really good way of keeping
it's
also really fun to keep the spiders separate. It's like, what experimental red ones? They're the ones that we're making stronger. What are the blue ones? We don't talk about the blue ones.
What about the red, green, and yellow one? Oh, that one gives you superpowers.
This is how we actually get Spider-Man, but he doesn't have any powers. It's just the suit. That's all it is.
He turns into a suit. But no, it's cool as fuck, and I look forward to seeing what else happens with that kind of stuff. Genetically modified dystopian future is always a fun thing.
Yeah.
All depends on who's being modified, but yeah.
I mean, it's probably not going to be anything that we like or is useful to us, but whatever.
Look, every day we get closer to me being put into a jar and just existing as a cyber thing. It'll be fine. I'll be the giant juggernaut in the coffin.
So you're volunteering for eternal service in the Dreadnought?
Oh, definitely.
I love that stupid meme. Why have you awakened me, honored brother? What is the Wi-Fi password?
No, my favorite is the thing where it's what is it? Cyberpunk. If you have too many augments, you go insane. And there's Jack from Mass Effect, and man, this is really shit. Cuts to one of the dreadnoughts. Inject another cruise missile into my brainstem.
Well, really, the only part of a space marine that's required, as far as I know, and I will admit, I'm not as super up on my lore on space marines because I don't really follow them particularly much. The only part you actually require for a dreadnought is the head.
Yeah,
you don't actually need anything else.
You just need a brain.
Although you want as much of it as you can because that means you don't have to put as many mechanics in to just keep it alive.
Yeah.
But theoretically, the brain's the only important part.
Oh god. I need to catch up on Isaiah and Coda, because that lore of 40k is so fun.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, like, I just watched their one on the planet where one of the Inquisitors thought it'd be a cool idea to just point Tyranids at orcs and see what happens, because they'll burn each other out. Nah, that didn't happen.
Let's put these two things that get stronger depending on what they're fighting and just make them fight. Oh god. Oh god, no.
Oh no, we've made a big mistake.
Now we have orc xenomorphs.
Well, that's the thing. We don't... This is one of the things that's actually really, really annoying about Games Workshop.
Yeah.
They set up scenarios where something cool is happening, where a really cool hero or a model or a cool beast would come out of, then they don't do anything.
Yeah, they like to edge.
You can't write a story about orcs fighting Tyranids, orcs who get bigger and badder every time they've got a long-ass fight to be part of, which they did for this, and Tyranids who have to constantly adapt to create new bioforms to fight things. Something nightmarish came out of that fight.
Oh, yeah.
Sack the fuck up and make a model.
Who actually won that fight, or is it still ongoing?
Tyranids.
That makes sense.
Tyranids won that one.
If you eat enough biomass, eventually you just steamroll that thing.
Well, the Tyranids figured out how to piss the orcs, how to essentially blue ball the orcs.
Ah, fair.
So what they did is that they basically would amass all their troops, run at the orcs like they were going to fight, and then just as they were about to start fighting, run away. And then when the orcs had been like, all right, fuck this, there's no fighting left, they'd dig underground, come over to the battlefield, pop up, and then eat all the corpses.
Fair. Smart.
And then they do it again, and they just keep doing that over and over and over again.
Oh,
just blue ball the orcs.
That's the only way you can deal with the orcs, though. You have to, you can't give them a good fight.
My favorite one from that is one of the fucking commanders. He's one of the freebooters, the pirate orcs.
Yeah.
And he was actually doing really well in orbit fighting the Tyranids. But they kept sending lictors to kill him, but he'd just spot them and kill them anyway. So they kept making these really specialized lictors to try and kill him. Eventually, they managed to because the fighting was getting so big on the ground, he decided, fuck this space shit, I'm gonna go down into the real fight. Gets into the real fight. They bait him to chase him all the way into this, they made these special acid-spewing venom throats.
Yeah.
Created this giant death cloud. Baited him into it. He runs into it. All his teammates who came with him, his warband, like their flesh melts off their skin and they die. He managed to tank the fuck through it, kills the venom throat that's creating the smog cloud, and then as the smog cloud clears, realizes he's surrounded by lictors and they just murder the fuck out of him.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I love orcs. They're great. They're one of the best things they ever did in 40k.
My favorite thing about the orcs in the new stuff is the rift in the center of the universe that was caused by the heresy, whatever it was.
The 13th Black Crusade.
That's one. Basically, if the orcs just beeline it into the center of the rift, they find the best fight. They come out of the warp just at the best fight ever. It's just, I love them. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And they're all Cockney.
Yeah, the fact that they're all Cockney English.
It's so much fun. I love
Warhammer. There's a planet in the warp somewhere full of orcs who fight demons, and every time they get killed, Korn just resurrects them so they can keep doing it because they're having such a good time.
Yeah.
It's basically Orc Valhalla.
Oh, man.
Oh, don't get me started on 40k. I love 40k too much.
It's so much fun.
There's just so much crap in it that's just room to have entertaining shit happen.
Definitely.
So, shall we talk about something that's kind of bullshit that's local?
Sure. Please. Yeah.
So, in Queensland, they're looking at putting tolls on the Story Bridge.
They can go fuck themselves.
So, according to them, the level of damage that's happening to the Story Bridge is outstripping the rate at which they're repairing it, and they're going to need more funds to be able to do that, otherwise it won't be able to support traffic inside of the next 20 years.
Okay. Are they going to remove the tolls from the other bridges we've already paid off?
God, no. Why would they... The go-between bridge didn't have tolls. Then they put tolls on it to try and get people to use it less.
Yeah.
And they're not going to take them away.
No.
No.
Like, it's hard. I get that we need to, like, keep the bridge up and everything, but allocate funds for it, like, from a actual thing. Like, if you put a toll on that bridge, holy shit.
That is one of the two main arterial bridges through the CBD of Brisbane.
And the only one left is not really, like, a super arterial, because it has to go through South Bank, which is already clogged at a horrible place to drive.
Isn't it the one that goes across Riverfront?
Oh, yeah, no, there's that one.
See, they're the two I think of. I think it's the Riverfront one, because it goes across the front of the CBD, and the Story Bridge, because it goes into the valley. Because the other one out of the... isn't the one out of South Bank the go-between?
There's one other one over there, which is not a toll, but it goes across into South Bank and just right near the theatre.
You are also correct. South Bank is already congested enough. You don't want South Bank as your main arterial.
Yeah, because people are just going to avoid that bridge and then,
clog up the other two.
Clog up everything. It's not going to do well. We've seen it happen so many times before.
Or you've got to make that toll so fucking low.
Yeah. But they won't.
And they're not gonna. I mean, they're gonna charge like $8 a trip.
Oh, God, they are too.
I mean, if it was like maybe, and I wouldn't be okay with this, but like, make it like $1.
Yeah. All I know is it's got to make my D&D games like more online, I think, because everyone who plays my games is over like the other side of the bridge.
That or will just take longer to get to your place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not into it. I get why, but I'm not into it.
It's dumb, and I hate it. And
Yeah. No one likes tolls.
No one likes paying for things, especially at the moment, because everything's expensive.
And like, even if they had like, and I know it's never happened, but if they actually had like a timeline, like we have to have it as a toll for 1 year.
Yeah.
And they actually did it because they've said that about roads before, and the tolls never go away.
Yeah.
No.
But if they actually had a dedicated time, like we need the assistance for 1 year, we're going to toll the bridge at $4. It could be dealt with. But the minute they get a toll working, it's like that toll's never going away.
Yeah.
Ever. If anything, it's going up.
Oh, definitely. It will increase exponentially.
No. Is like the Story Bridge is like publicly owned. And they're mainly doing it to cover the cost of repairs and shit.
Yes.
The minute there's any sort of actual profit being made from it, it'll get sold off to private.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Easy.
And the minute that happens, those things are only going to go up.
And I'm pretty sure why they're saying, it's good, we'll charge the toll and use it for repairs. I highly doubt most of that money is going to go to repairs. It's going to go to, like, community benefit or something like to enhance the area with additions. Like, no, just fix the bridge.
Well, I mean, even if they're just fixing the bridge, well, we got to get a consultant out here to determine how much we got to spend on the bridge and then get some bids and run up a few meetings on deciding who we're going to go with and blah, 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 blah.
Then we're going to choose the guy who charges the least, and then they're going to fuck that up. They're going to have to pay more to fix it.
They pick the guy who charges the least, and then my cousin Jimmy owns a maintenance place, and he needs the contract, and we got to jack that price of that contract up that little ways.
Yeah,
and
got to help out your cousin Jimmy.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
That's
still
how
hard
contracts
those
work.
mega contracts they slipped in.
Yeah. But no, I would have a better time swallowing this as a thing if governments weren't so blatantly fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's annoying because I understand the necessity.
Yeah.
But
doesn't mean I have to like it.
Well, it's like, I understand it, and I understand putting it on there, but I don't think they're going to do what they're promising with it, so I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I can almost guarantee they're not going to do what they're fucking promising to do with it. Jesus.
All right, we ready to bitch about what's happening with Audible?
Yeah. this does kind of impact us.
So, as the book-loving people we are, we use Audible a lot. Audible started at the termination of contracts, or renewing of contracts, just giving the flick to voiceover guys and replacing them with the AI ones.
Yeah. I don't like this.
It's such a dick fucking move.
Yeah.
Because, quite honestly, there are some books that are probably excellent that I have not listened to because the narrator sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good narrator makes a book.
I've had several books where I've listened to and then I've refunded within like the first few minutes because the voice I just can't fucking listen to.
Yep.
Yeah.
To the point where I've still wanted to get the story that I've actually gone and bought those same books on a fucking Kindle that I found in the back of a cupboard. Just so I could get the story without having to listen to that fucking voice.
Yeah, occasionally you get those, but then occasionally you get the exact opposite of that, just being the perfect voice actor.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Like the guy who did He Who Fights with Monsters and everything. Like I ended up listening to more books just by searching him on Audible.
Yeah, I mean, it's how we found Heretical Fishing.
Yeah.
And again, he killed it in that.
Yeah.
But, that's the point. An amazing voice actor will do way better voiceover than your AI will. And people are noticing, and they're already getting pissed about it. Thankfully, it is possible to filter out anything that uses a virtual voice actor right now.
Yeah.
See how long that feature lasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I want that feature on more websites, because I do a lot of 3D printing, and I use one website called 3D quite often. I used to love that one. It was great. But it is being flooded with AI 3D models that are just, like, horrible looking. And people are charging, like, $20 for them? It's like, no. What do you do? Go away. Stop making this.
Yeah. Or they're charging $20 for models that you can find for free elsewhere. Like, there's always a free version somewhere.
People grab it from Thingiverse and then throw it up on there. It's like, oh, no, I made this.
Yeah.
Give me $4.
Like, walking through any fucking mall and seeing the 3D printed fucking toy bench. Like, God damn, it's like, you haven't even fucking gone off the edge of that. You can still see the elephant's footing on it, and the threads are still off. You haven't cleaned this fucking thing up at all.
Yeah.
The one that all right, I'm hot take here. I've been to a couple of nerd crafty events, big convention things. And you go down the artist alley.
Yeah.
And you'll see some table and they'll be like, look at all the things I made. Dude, that's every one of those is a 3D print.
Yeah.
And they're not original ones either. I can tell. I've seen them before.
I've walked past ones like, ooh, I have that. I bought that too.
Yeah.
There's
I've
ones
got that sitting on my desk right now.
Yeah.
You didn't make that.
I've walked past other ones, and it's just like, I know for a fact that guy doesn't sell commercial licenses. You're in trouble, bud. But yeah, it's just...
And it's just the way they treat it, like, oh, I did this, I made this.
Yeah.
You printed it.
It's very much that meme.
True.
I made this. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, you just mass-produced a bunch of them and then brought them here. You didn't do anything other than sand them up. And
half the time they don't even do that. They literally just...
Yeah, you can still see
put them off the fucking printer.
Lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or it's like, oh, look at this box I made. Dude, man, it's a 3D printed box. It's not that impressive.
Yeah.
The guy who made the wood box, who actually had to assemble it with all the hinges and shit, I'm impressed by that guy.
Yeah, fucking no, that's actual talent.
I'm sorry, man. You threw a couple of neodymium magnets in there. That's...
Yeah.
You didn't
like,
do anything.
Pressing print. Like, you've done fuck all there, bud.
Look, I make a lot of dumb shit because I find it funny. Or I find it interesting. But if you gave me a nice wooden box, I'd be so fucking chuffed. Like, I can print whatever like kind of box I want, but you give me a nice wooden one, like, fuck yes, this is mint. I can't do this. I can't replicate these things.
So, hot take on artist alleys. Maybe don't bring so much 3D printed slob.
Yeah.
I don't need another table covered in slightly wiggly dragons.
Or like AI generated prints and stuff I've been seeing a lot in artist alleys and
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Anyway, Speaking of not being a fan, did you see that Snow White bombed twice?
Yes. I
So
love
it's
You may as well
bombed the
just
first-
said, speaking of giant piles of absolute fucking flaming turd.
The thing that's hilarious about it is, like, at least Sony learnt from Morbius.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, there's such thing as bad publicity, and we baited ourselves.
Yeah.
Disney seems to have just been like, no, we'll just do it again, yeah? Like once all the haters have calmed down and the big fervor's done, we'll re-release the movie again. And it flopped a second time.
I think they were aiming to get the Mother's Day kind of crowd. Like, just maybe people will just go and see it on Mother's Day as a thing for, mums. And it's like, no one wants to see this.
No.
No one and their mum hates this movie. Like, everyone and their mum. Just done.
So we've only got 2 things left on our topics list. One of which is it's our dead horse to kick, which is Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Release
It's a
date,
dead horse that they're kicking
$48,000 pack.
themselves.
Yeah. They've got it hooked up to the auto kicker 5,000 at this point.
I'm pretty sure that's more like their entire community just. Do you remember that scene from Monty Python with the monks walking along, just smashing their heads on the boards?
Yeah.
I feel like that's their community, but with their wallets.
Oh, it fits so well.
Because it's a $48,000 US fucking pack. It does contain 170 ships from every notable manufacturer, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
But you can also only buy it if you're in the Commanders Club, which means you've already spent $1,000.
Oh, God, that is...
So at the very least, that's fucking near 50k into a game that isn't even out of alpha yet and hasn't been for 13 years of development.
They should have called this the Buy Me a Lexus, bro, like patch or something. Just
this is the absolute epitome of that saying, a fool and his money is soon parted. Because God fucking damn, there are some fools out there for this bullshit.
You know they wouldn't put this pack out if they didn't know at least one person's going to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed. But the thing is, like, that game has been selling a promise for so long. How long until people just get shitty and try and do something about it? Like,
at some point, someone has, like, there has to be a legislation, has to be fucking something that changes that says, no, you need to cut this fucking bullshit.
This is a social experiment to see how long before someone cracks.
Yeah.
Like, how far can we push this before it becomes a scam?
They'll have it under their EULA that, like, you're supporting an uncompleted project. It may not ever see completion.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you that's in there somewhere so that they can be like, look, man, we ran out of money. The Coke pile's dried up. We've broken all the Lambos. We're done.
And you can't even see my little friend.
And they'll abandon it and be like, yeah, cool. We got all our fun. We don't care anymore. We're done.
Yeah. But I'm just waiting. Why haven't they? It has to be because that game is still probably raking in money somehow. But
yeah, well,
it's basically a buggy mess. I wonder if that full crash bug is still there. It just crashes the server out on people
every 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
I've talked to people who played it other than our former host who did not sell it well.
No.
I'm not a big fan of what I'm hearing about Star Citizen. And, I mean, we had an entire breakdown of their fucking gameplay trailer back when that came out. And that was not good. It's Star Citizen. Like I said, this is our dead horse. I don't know how much we can talk about it other than to be like, look, they put out another fucking thing and it's still not out. And
the horse isn't fun
We've
to
said all the
kick
things
anymore.
before.
I'm bored of kicking this horse. It's just like, can you go away now? Get this horse away from me.
It really feels like the softest of balls. It's just like, oh yeah, we'll just, I guess we'll talk about it again.
Yeah. But if we stop talking about it, it gets away with things.
I'm really waiting for him to come out and say, oh, by the way, every like ship you can get in this now has blockchain attached to it. There's a limited number of ships in the galaxy.
Oh, don't give him
They
ideas.
sell insurance.
Wait, what?
They sell insurance.
Fuck off, really?
Yeah. If your ship gets blown up, you don't get it back. You have to have insurance.
What?
So the ships are consumables. You can
What
spend
the fuck?
50 grand and lose it all and have nothing.
I think all
I
of
did
the
not know that.
I think all the cash board ships have insurance by default.
Yeah.
But like if you build a ship in game and it gets blown up, you don't get it back.
Oh, God. That... I mean, it's hardcore mode, I guess, but fuck.
Like I said, I think the paid for ones all have insurance by default. Like it's just part of the cash purchase.
Yeah.
But yeah, a mechanic in the game is that you buy ship insurance so your ships don't you don't lose the ships when they get destroyed.
Does the insurance also fuck you over and never give you back a portion of the actual value of your ship, so it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller?
We have determined that your destroyer-class cruiser is only a light assault frigate, so deal with it.
I could...
We decided as soon as you flew it off the lot, it lost half its value, so we're not actually insuring it for that amount.
It says here you went through a meteorite swarm. We're going to deduct that from your deck book.
You were attacked by pirates. Did you get pirate insurance?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, our insurance doesn't cover acts of cosmic horror.
It says here that you had a crewmate on the bridge, and you said in the claim that you were the only person who would ever be flying this ship, and as it was the second person on the bridge, we cannot grant your claim.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I
kinda
feel like
want
we've all had some run-ins with the insurance companies.
I kind of want that as a thing. We may have to make that at some point, just the different versions. That was fun.
Very scientific study has come out that shows that putting dice in dice jail does not affect whether or not they roll better. There seems to be some kind of baked-in 5% failure rate.
That very much just sounds like it was done by a fucking Darth sympathizer.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Nah. Well, I think in the preamble, John Doe said it best. It's corporal punishment it is, then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Dice corporal punishment. Sometimes they need to feel a strong fucking backhand.
I do love that the story of the physicist who went to a D&D game. His dice failed him, so he had liquid nitrogen on hand because he was doing experiments. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Just drops it in, picks it back, hammer, smack. It's just in front of all the other dice. Yeah.
You want to hear the most unhinged shit from people you'll generally consider quite smart and logical? Ask them what they do with their dice.
Yeah.
And you will get the most psychotic answers you've ever heard. I know of at least one guy when we were in uni who, when his dice failed him, he lined up all the dice in a semicircle and then smashed the one that failed him, so the others knew what happened.
I love that, the most logical people, the second they get to D&D, is like, don't you touch my dice. It's the superstitions come out. The superstitions arise. If you touch them, you curse them. Don't touch my dice.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I have one dice that's only used for playing a goblin.
Yeah.
It's my goblin dice, and that's it. It doesn't get used for anything else. I'm not playing a goblin, it doesn't get used.
I also maintain my dice have an allegiance to the players that I have not yet broken, because every time my dice will roll really well to help you fuckers, but the second is I've got a funny thing to do. Let's see if it happens. No.
But
I'm a DM, so screw you, dice.
And how many times did one of the guys roll double ones in that last game we played?
That is true, but that was pretty fun.
But
his dice hated him.
I've got personal use dice and I have share dice.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's fucking reasonable. I have a dice that I'm going to use for my shit. Leave it the fuck alone.
I treat them like controllers. I have the first-person controller dice, and I have the second-person off-brand controllers in the corner for everyone else to use.
I get the actual Microsoft controller. You get the Mad Cat.
The Mad Cat with the obviously broken stick. It's just flopping to the side.
Yeah. Every time. That's how you knew you were winning, was they give you that one.
You need a handicap. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I mean, like, yeah. The one I love most was that thing that went around Instagram for a little while. The dude who put his dice in a cuck chair.
Yeah.
That was so... I love the fact that, like, he had a little cardboard one for the skit, and then someone 3D printed and sent him one that would attach to the side of his dice tray.
That's amazing.
But yeah, no, it's... I will admit I'm a little more of the... Like, I've got enough dice that I can probably just, like, throw the bad one away, and by the time it cycles to the top 9 games later, oh, you want to have another go? Okay.
Yeah. It's a bit like the, was it the Black Mirror episode where your own digital assistant is your brain copied on a thing, so just puts them in timeout for a few hundred years. Same kind of thing with dice. Like, all right, you go in the bottom of the barrel. You'll come out eventually.
Yeah. And hopefully you'll have learnt your lesson.
Yeah.
So what are you telling me about, like, someone who would, like, put a bad dice in a chair next to a good dice so they could try and hash it out and fix it?
Yeah. It was like a kind of, like, a positive counseling thing. So they actually built a little diorama. It's like a therapist chair and a lounge. I'm like, that's fucking great.
This is what happens
turn a
when
bad
people
kid
are
into a good kid by bringing him to the front of the class.
Yeah, reform school.
Can you tell that we know a bunch of very unhinged people when it comes to D&D?
I think some of them are quite fucking reasonable, thank you.
Oh, they're great. Like I said, man, most logical, normal people ever. Once you put dice in their hand, they're fucking gremlins.
I love when you find someone who just goes into it so hard. Like, one of the guys we played a game with, one of the people who I'm occasionally listens to us, your housemate, Seth. He had never played a game before. So we brought him in. Like, all right, I'll introduce you pretty easily. Took to it like a duck to water.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy
100%.
shit.
His character was one of the best in that game.
I loved that character. It was a dragonborn necromancer who had been thrown out of the Arcane University for his grand thesis, which was dragonkin are closer to platypus than they are to dragons. Because they're both mammatrines. He was exiled from his, like, family and, like, he was a fallen noble. And he played it to a T, including spending his entire first paycheck on a bed.
Because he thought that's just what they'd cost.
Yeah. Because it was great. He'd only ever had servants. He played it really well. I loved that character.
So good. I love the fact that he, like, because he wasn't quite as up on mechanics as the rest of us, when we like, we'd be like, oh, someone's figured out we're being tailed. Everybody else would execute perfectly their abilities to just disappear and just leave him in the middle of the street.
Yeah, just left him as bait. Oh, it
so
amazing.
it kind of became this entire thing with, we're running bait protocol, yep.
Disappear. Such a fun.
And it helped even better when he got his fucking sparkle wings and you could see him from 9 blocks away.
The amount of times that you guys ended up different races was very strange.
Yeah. That was fun, though. I love that game. That was that took us, what, a good, like, year to play through that game, I want to say?
I think it was a bit longer, about 2 years.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember. That game went for a long time. It was really good, though. Anyway, it's Book Week!
Yeah,
It's Book Week!
I do like me a book week.
So, this month we listened to Dream Park by Larry Niven and Steve Barnes.
It was a book.
I didn't hate it, but it was a hard one to get through.
Yeah.
I liked Griff. Griff was a great character. He was pretty fun. I don't think I liked anyone else. The game master because it's the whole premise of virtual reality mixed with props and actors and just the full experience. Yeah. Kind of like, what's the TV show in the book? Westworld.
Yeah.
A bit like that. But for D&D. The dungeon master or the game master, absolute prick. He's the worst kind of DM who has an adversarial relationship with all of the players. Is quoted in the book as being the guy who gets very close to being banned every time. Because it's all for entertainment value as well, there's no actual gamers in there.
Yeah.
The players are fuckwits. Rich fuckwits.
Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Well, to be in like the thing with it, like you have to play so many games to get points to go to bigger games, and the whole system's kind of prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
So to have the points to go to the big games means you're already fucking rich.
Yeah.
So, of course, everything devolves into late night orgies and all that kind of stuff and things happening in the background. Because apparently, despite it all being for entertainment, they turn the cameras off after 7 p.m. or something. But yeah, the basic story was entertaining. But
yeah.
I was waiting for, like, because some of the style of books that you pick, Seth, I was waiting for a little bit more of the thriller element to come out of it, almost starting to turn into a Five Nights at Freddy's when they actually start dying because of the events in the thing. I was waiting for it, and it never came.
Well,
I was like,
yeah.
I mean, this wasn't one I sought out myself. This was one I'd gotten recommended by a longtime listener, Craig, and he made it sound really cool. And I'm not saying that it wasn't. I get the feeling I might enjoy a second book. Simply, like, can you execute on this concept better?
Yeah. I think the concept could be awesome. It could absolutely fit into the lit RPG genre as a style of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just because it's a first outing for this particular type of book for this author. I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me. I enjoyed it, but it's one of the few books I put on almost, or I think it was almost double time to get through it. I was looking for the next event that I wanted to actually listen to.
Yeah. It's a whole bunch of good ideas, but I don't think they quite grasped for the execution. I'm like I said, I might try the second book at some point, not right now, because I do like the concept.
Yeah,
but they have to execute a little harder, in my opinion, to really make that idea shine.
That's fair.
So I think we're all a bit middle of the road on Dream Park.
Yeah,
it's not bad. It's not good. We could have read something way worse.
I'd put it as a 6. It's
it's above average.
If a 1 is like Last Hacker, and I'd put this at about a 6.
yeah, I give you that.
I still kind of want the Last Hacker to write another book just so I can
just so we can have a ranking of 0.5.
Yeah.
The fact that we read that book 3 years ago and we're still bitching about it.
That's sort of,
That's if you never read, you went around listening to this show back when we did that book. Like, honestly, if you want to read one of the weirdest shitty books you'll ever read, The Last Hacker is that. And yeah, man, like, what the fuck was that?
The weird thing is, I don't remember the actual events of the book. Every time I try and remember it, it's just angry static.
Yes.
It's just like,
my brain zeroes in on all the things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
An entire world's economy that's run on Bitcoin, except a Coke costs 300 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I can fund a city with 1.
Yeah.
Oh, it varied so wildly, just like real Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing was basically just sucking Bitcoin's dick.
Oh, it really was.
And the dude who's like, I'm going to decide which of this selection of Chuck Taylors I'm going to wear today in the apocalypse. Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, seriously, if you weren't around for that one, go back, read it. It's bad. We're telling you it's bad. It's a bad book.
We are warning you. We're also challenging you to listen to it.
It is train wreck bad, though. You are going to be like, what the fuck is this? Until the end of the book, and they'll be like, I really did just do that whole book, didn't I?
And then there was Catch-22, where each of us was like, was that actually a thing? Did we fever dream a book?
Last Hacker is 10 hours, 46 minutes of what the fuck?
Yeah. Off of what sounds like a cool concept, which is the most annoying bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this month, I believe John Doe's got the book selection.
Yep, I'm going cheesy sci-fi.
I love me.
Like, nothing wrong with that.
So I'm going Backyard Starship. There's like 18 books in the series, so if it's lasted this long, surely. But we thought the same thing about fucking 2 Week Curse, and that died in the ass.
That is true.
I mean, I read one called Lucky's Marines, and yeah, I think I got like 2 books in of like a 12-book set, and it was like, nah, this is really not good.
I'm sure there's a niche somewhere, but I'm not it.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, let's run through the blurb. So, Backyard Starship, by J. and Jancy, Terry Maggart. Interesting. When Von Tudor returns to his childhood home and inherits more than a family farm, his grandfather used to tell him fantastic stories of spacemen and monsters, princesses and galactic knights. Little did Van realize the old man's tales were more than fiction, they were real. Hidden beneath the old barn, Van's legacy is waiting, a starship not of this world. With the combat AI, an android bird named Perry, Van takes his first steps into the wider galaxy. He soon finds that space is far busier and more dangerous than he could ever have conceived. Destiny is calling. His grandfather's legacy awaits. Short, sweet. It looks like a dumb space adventure. I'm quite looking forward to it.
It's got a 4.5 rating.
Yeah. I mean, I got no problem with that. I mean, that was Look, man, I've read books off weaker premises that were pretty good. I mean...
Yeah.
I don't think we've read it for this, but maybe one day I should, just so that John Doe reads it, because damn it, it's good. I read The Black Ocean just because someone said it was some dude's bootleg Firefly with magic.
I've done Black Ocean.
Oh, yeah. you did. Sorry about that.
Black Ocean.
I think I'm the only one at the moment.
I didn't get into the spin-offs as hard, but Black Ocean, I sunk into that motherfucker.
My point simply being, like, I read that off Firefly plus magic, so... Yeah. Popcorn sci-fi? Fuck yeah, let's go.
Love a good popcorn sci-fi.
So, yeah, that's what I've picked.
All right.
Lovely.
Sounds good to me. So this month we'll do Backyard Starship.
This is a free one, too.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, it is. Well, it's we all have an Audible subscription.
Yeah. If you have an Audible subscription, it is included. It will not cost you a credit.
And this one is not AI read.
Thank fuck. I say if we ended up picking an AI read book, I'd probably boycott it just for the fucking fun of it.
Yeah, but how long before they start like giving the AI a name so you can't tell?
Sven Svensson.
Well, currently they label them as, if you can filter them out, they're labeled somewhere.
Yeah, but like I said, how long till that filters away? Still, this one isn't one of them, so come on, decent narrator, let's go.
Oh, please. God damn, I've had some fucking terrible ones, so I'm praying that this is somewhat remotely decent.
If we put this up and it's just the most, like, nasally Australian, how's it going? Just like that, I would cry, and then I would try and finish the book.
There's one time that's ever been okay, which was when we read that mutant book.
That was a great book.
I think it was Australia, wasn't it?
Australia.
With
Kenneth and...
Yeah, if you want to listen to, like, what I found to be fucking terrible narration, pick up or listen to the preview of Apocalypse Tamer and wait for him to go through the voices of the creatures. And I didn't get 20 minutes into that book before I refunded. I wanted to read it, so I went and bought it on the Kindle, like for $2. I couldn't get 20 minutes into that book.
Oh, that sucks, because like that's a series I've actually been kind of interested to check out.
Try it. Just listen to the preview before you do anything. If you look at any of the reviews, they all say the narrator you'll either like it or fucking avoid it at all costs.
Fair.
Oh hey, speaking of characters with like, look, I opened Audible. The shit happens. Okay, shut up. Yeah. So, I mean, the first thing I do every time I want to open Audible is start looking at old series and seeing if they've got new books out.
Yeah.
And there's the new book out for Dead Tired.
Oh, score.
So it was just like, oh, speaking of a character with a weird voice and a vocal affect.
We do just need to go through the last ones and just find stuff.
I mean, like, I keep an eye on them because, like, there are genuine series. Oh, finally, the pre-order for the new Stray Cat Strut's up.
Yeah, it's been out for a little while. I thought I said that a little while back.
I know a while ago we could find the book version, but not the audiobook version.
Yeah, because I've got that in my wish list already.
Yeah. But I was just checking Stray Cat Strut now. It's
Didn't
like,
mean to
cool,
leave you hanging on it. Shit.
But yeah, 15th to the 7th. So, yeah, a little while away. Although it's annoying because I keep seeing Heretical Fishing in my wish list. It's like, damn it, it's not out until like fucking August.
I know.
One day.
Oh, I mean, I'm actually kind of happy that Dead Tired's out because I need something to listen to while I'm at work tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm out of books. Well, out of the current books I'm reading. Well, sorry, I have to read fucking Backyard Spaceship.
Yeah. You have a book, Seth. Jesus.
We just did this.
I'm sorry, I like books! And I finally have a job where I can listen to books and do it.
If the three of us were like dragons, I'm pretty sure we'd each have just a hoard of books. But not in the way of like a library, it's just all of us on a big pile of books saying, don't look at my books!
They're all audio books on a fucking USB drive.
My mom was talking to me about, like, if I had, we were talking about, like, what you do if you want a pile of money.
Yeah.
And won the lotto. And was talking about, like, yeah, I'd probably build, like, a really normal house, except there'd be, like, one room that'd have to be, like, 2 stories tall just so it could be the library so it could have the rolly ladder.
Yeah.
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 And how I'd, like, carve out a piece of one of the bookshelves so it could have a book nook with a window so you could sit in the nook and have the rain and shit.
Oh, of course.
Amazing.
And then you'd have to have, like, the artificial rain sprinkler outside because it's not always raining when you want to read a fucking book.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta set the mood.
And, you know, a little candle stand, despite the fact there's going to be an actual light. I need that little, like, warmth.
Oh, of course, yeah. You got to have the flickering glow in the corner. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And almost have the actual light shaded in that corner so it is that little bit darker for that flicker to come through.
Yeah. And same in that room, because you might not always want to sit in the window. You got to have that oversized plush armchair.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, like the big comfy one, yes. Like the high-backed kind of. Oh.
Yeah, with like the, you know, someone's leg around size fucking armrests.
Yeah. God.
So I'd be like, I'd do that, and then my sister was like, nah, you do something underground. I'm like, yes, I would, but I'd have to do it in a completely different way. In that one, it would be bookshelves as a maze, so that I can come wandering out of it with a little lantern going, yes, follow me into the darkness.
Oh, God. If given the chance, I'm pretty sure I would be subterranean.
Oh, without a doubt. And I would 100% live in a library.
Oh, definitely. I would become that cryptid.
Quite honestly, the only reason I've never bothered to pursue becoming a librarian is because, quite honestly, it pays like shit and it's a shitload of work.
Yeah.
Because I would love to just have to deal with books all day.
Just pool our resources and buy our own library.
Yeah, I know, right? Dude, like, fucking churches are becoming more affordable.
You're not wrong.
Why is it becoming more affordable for me to keep an eye out for a church to buy than a fucking house?
It's even more fun because the second we walk into it, just catch fire.
Because investors aren't allowed through the doors of churches. They catch fire.
I'm here for the open... Ah!
I would buy it for that feature alone.
I know, right?
Oh, God. We got a bit rambly.
Yeah. Well, we're out past an hour, so I think we'll round it out. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.